we are able to distinguish in our minds between like and love. Like is rational. It's a good product. They treat me nicely. Good price. I like it. I like it. I like my job. I get paid well. I like the people. I like the challenge. I like my job. Do you love your job? Well, I wouldn't go that far. It's like we know there's a hierarchy. Like is rational. It's based on what, all that what stuff. But love is emotional. Love is visceral. Love is in that why stuff. Sometimes we can't explain it. Why do you love her? I don't know why. Why do you love the company? I don't know. This is what people say. You can get a better job somewhere else, make more money, work fewer hours. I know, but I don't know. I love it here, right? We describe our jobs or we describe our loyalties to a company the same way we describe our relationships. They're visceral. And we know there's a hierarchy. And the ability to get someone from like to love. In other words, if you do everything decently, they'll like you, right? But you cannot get someone to love unless you stand for something. Unless you're vocal about what you stand for. You're vocal about why you exist. That this organization was founded for a specific reason, and we believe in this, and we will work tirelessly to see this cause brought to life. This is why we do what we do. And it has nothing to do with the product. It is merely done through the product. In the case of WestJet, there's a concept of freedom. There's a concept of everyone should be entitled. This is for every man. This is not elitist. The airline business was we used to wear ties on planes. It used to be you have to be rich. And if you wanted to fly. And this is one of those few organizations that said no. Everyone has the right to travel across the country whenever they want, and price is one of the means by which you do it. But it's not based on price. It's just, that's if you want to appeal to the everyman, then you have to be more reasonably priced than everyone. But it's really this everyman concept. And the more the organization talks about that it's about the average working stiff, it's about the everyman, the more your policies, your processes, the way you see the world, your marketing, everything embodies this cause, and that you are a champion. It's as if it's a social movement, that this organization is like a social leader who's championing the cause of the common man. The more you do that, the more people who share that view, regardless of where they fit in, in the class structure, people who believe in that will be drawn to you. And no matter if you're, we can sit and do the details, other organizations are slightly better or slightly worse at certain times. It doesn't matter. That's not the reason I'm drawn to you. The reason I love you is because you stand for something and you help me articulate what I believe by saying that I too am a WestJetter, whether that means an employee or even a passenger. I identify with. This by saying you know something about me because of my visceral loyalty to this organization. So I'm sure a lot of people who are hearing me speak, when I use the word passenger, probably the hairs on your neck stood up. This is a good sign, because what it means is that you actually don't view people as some abstract commodity. You don't view people as the sort of generic customer thing, but rather just like a family, just like when you invite someone in your home, you're going to treat a guest differently than you treat a delivery man, right? A guest is someone who you go out of your way. You get up to get them a drink. You don't just point to the fridge, In other words, you want to make them feel at home, as if they were part of your family. Welcome. You are a guest. I think it's very interesting that you have a visceral response when I use the word passenger versus guest, because what that means is this concept is viscerally integrated into your organization. There's plenty of companies these days, it's almost trendy, that you go to a Starbucks or something and they say, can I help the next guest, please? I'd rather they just say, can I help the next customer, please? Because you certainly don't you don't treat me like a guest, you just treat me like a customer. And so when we talked about trust, and it's about being the honest broker, I know you don't see me that way, so don't call me that. I'd rather you just call me a customer, because I actually would trust you more, because that's how you see me, and I'm good with that. And so I love the idea that you honestly see the people who visit you as guests to be taken care of. That is a sign of how you view people. That's good stuff. When we work hard for something that we don't believe in, it's called stress. When we work hard for something that we believe in, it's called passion. There's nothing in terms of the amount of hours that we work or the amount of effort that we put in that distinguishes stress from passion. In fact, sometimes we work harder and more hours when we're passionate. The difference is, do we feel that the work we're doing is contributing to something bigger than ourselves? That's how passion remains. Once that higher purpose or cause that we're contributing to, when we no longer feel that the effort that we're putting in is valued or valuable, then it becomes stress. But we are willing to work extremely hard with so much passion when we feel that we are valued and that the work that we are doing is valuable. And so the ways to overcome stress and make it passionate again is two things. One, we need to be constantly reminded when we get stuck in the weeds what this is all for, you know? And that's the role of leadership. They need to be constantly reminding us, and all levels of leadership, why we're showing up to work every day. It's about the human beings. We care for people, we care for people, we care for people, we care for people. And you don't have to look at the size of the seat or the length of the plane or the size of the plane or all of these things. If anybody says, what distinguishes this airline from any other, you say, simple. We care for people. That's why we do what we do. Sometimes we're a little better at the plane stuff, the airline business stuff than others. Sometimes we're not. But the thing that we strive to be excellent at all times is to care for people, because that's why we joined this company, because that's what I believe as a human being. I like to care for people, and I think people should be cared for, and I'm just the luckiest person in the world that I found a job and a company that pushes me to do that as well. That's why I love it here. And the days that I feel like it's work and the days that I feel stressed, I know that my leader will remind me, or there's a poster or something that reminds me, or I get to meet a customer that reminds me, get to meet a guest that reminds me. But the thing that reminds me most are the people I work with. That the hard days that I have, it's the person to the left of me and the person to the right of me. When I lean over and I go, today's not a good day, and they lean back to me and go, we got your back, what do you need? That's what reminds me why I do this. And the reason I sometimes sacrifice from my friends at work is because my friends at work sacrifice for me. And I know that. That's why I do it.